thethings.iO friends, welcome to a new edition of the IoT Friday. Today I'm going to present how to learn Arduino in just 5 minutes or even less with the help of, actually an Arduino Uno. So Arduino Uno is one of my favorite, or actually Arduino is one of my favorite platforms to make some prototypes or to connect sensors and actuators to the internet. Actually, it's one of my favorites because it was the first one that actually I tried and I learned and I grew up with Arduinos. So yeah, it's a fantastic platform if you want to learn how sensors and electronic works. And it's actually pretty easy if you know C programming language to connect anything to the internet actually. So let me show you what is Arduino and how does it work. So first, let me present the Arduino Uno with some digital pins and analog pins, and here you can find some power pins. So actually it's a pretty good copy made by our camera Hector. So the Arduino Uno is a very tiny hardware platform. So we have an 80 mega CPU, and then we have 32 kilobytes of storage and 2 kilobytes of RAM. That means that we have a lot of restrictions when we do our software on the top of the Arduino. That said, this platform is just made to stack more and more shields on the top. So the idea is that this Arduino Uno is not connected to the internet, but we can stack on the top an Ethernet shield or a Wi-Fi shield or a GSM shield made by Telefonica on the top, and we give connectivity to the code that is running inside of this Arduino Uno. There are more Arduinos actually now in the market. Thanks to the Arduino community, we have maybe the last one that is, or the most popular now, it's the Arduino Yun with Wi-Fi connectivity embedded, and it works pretty well. But yeah, I would like to go with the most basic because it's very easy to introduce people with the most basic one. So, okay, so for connecting sensors and actuators, we have to take into account if the sensor or the actuator needs digital input or analog. Or even we have some pins for PWM. That means that we have analog signals and we want to see it on digital, on analog way with some modulations. We have also 3.3 volts or 5 volts. And yeah, that's all. So you can connect some of these sensors that support this. To program it, it's very easy. So you go to arduino.cc, and this is a website of the Arduino community, and from there you download the Arduino IDE. It's a very simple IDE where you can program your code, and it works pretty easy. So the code, so the language of Arduino, it's a variant of C or C++ actually, and it's pretty simple if you know C or C++. So how it works is that it has two main modules. The first one is setup, where you set up all the for example, if you have connectivity to Wi-Fi, you set up all the Wi-Fi connectivity or Ethernet to get an IP address from the router, etc. And then there is the loop module, where in the loop it's every some milliseconds. This is a buckle that it's repeating and repeating over the time, the loop. So here is where your code goes and where you are getting data from the analog or digital pins, and you actually are making something with that. Okay, finally some tips. So the Arduino community is huge. That means that if you Google for libraries, or if you go to SparkFun or any of these websites to buy sensors, you will find a lot of libraries made by Arduino to connect these sensors here. So actually you will find almost everything done and almost every problem solved on the top of Arduinos. Then the second tip is that if you need it, you can make your own do-it-yourself library. So if you know C++, very easily you can build up a new library on the top. At thethings.iO, we are going to publish our thethings.iO Arduino library in the next weeks. So we will send you a message to when we will publish it. The next tip is about battery. So Arduino needs a lot of battery. So it's because of the loop that it's getting executed every some milliseconds, usually 1 millisecond, that it drains the battery very, very fast. So there are some techniques to improve the battery consumption. So we suggest you to, for example, in the book of designing connected things or blogs, or so just Google for how to improve your quality of the code of Arduino to avoid this battery high consumption, and you will find some tips. And finally, if you are going to on production, we don't recommend to go to Arduino. This is just a prototype tool. It's very cool, it's open source, it's open hardware, but don't go to production with Arduino. And that's all for this IoT Friday. Thank you very much and see you next edition. Bye.